Gridlock because political maps are drawn in such a way that the independent voice, the moderate voice, is redistrict out of existence. Our next guest wants to do something about that. Michael Kolenc, campaign manager for the Yes for Independent Maps. Good morning, Michael.
Morning.
You should have a map of Westport to figure out how to get here.
Did you hear about how I got lost in the building?
Yes, I did, yes. Something called GPS will lead you right to the front door.
It's a maze. It's a maze.
All right, you are putting on a ballot measure for the state of Illinois?
That's correct.
Tell us about it.
We're trying to get on the ballot in November of 2014 an amendment to the state constitution that will alter the way we draw state legislative maps.
What is this amendment going to say?
So, essentially, that there has to be an independent commission to draw the maps. Rather than drawing them behind closed doors, which is not hyperbole in any way, this process has to be open. There has to be a set of criteria that'll be codified in the Constitution, including, not dividing up communities of interest, whether they be racial, economic, or share a social interest, following to the best of our abilities boundaries of cities, towns, villages, and not drawing maps that are going to be discriminating against any one political party in favor or against, and not drawn based on where someone lives. So we can't draw a map based on where a politician lives, or where a politician's mother-in-law, or a politician's girlfriend lives. Really making a process that we can all be happy with and are proud of, and that is open and transparent.
That sounds more convoluted than the actual how the maps are drawn now.
Well, right now we don't know how the maps are drawn. Right now they're literally drawn behind closed doors. I've talked to several people across Illinois that have said that there's so many security procedures you have to go through to get into the map room, and it is a very closed process, and it is a process that Republicans and Democrats equally will use to their advantage. Period. This is a bipartisan issue. Republicans will do it. Democrats will do it. We've seen it in the state. We've seen it across the country, and which is why this reform is taking root in states like California, Arizona, and Florida. They tried to do it in Ohio last cycle, and it's actually working. It's an open process. It's creating competitive elections that's not dividing up communities of interest, so that they're.
Where is this working?
In California, we're seeing our model is really modeled after the California initiative that they passed in 2008. They passed some other reform-minded measures there, but this was the marquee issue. And they saw more competitive elections. They saw Sacramento work in ways that it had never worked before. Sacramento was very much like Springfield in 2009. It was controlled by the Democrats. The Democrats drew the maps. And then afterwards, the Democrats didn't lose control. They actually gained more seats, which was astounding to a lot of pundits and observers. But they were actually able to have a more effective and more efficient government, and they were able to move bills through. They were able to do it in an open and transparent way, and everyone was happy about it.
So here's the question, though.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be an issue of who will be appointed.
Absolutely.
To redo these maps.
Yeah. So there's actually a set of criteria. So, I don't know if you know this, but Illinois and Chicago are known for their style of politics. So we've been sure to put some safeguards into this amendment. For example, if you're an elected official all the way from precinct chair to governor, dog catcher, nothing, you are not allowed to serve on this commission. If you are a state employee, if you're a state lobbyist, a federal lobbyist, if you have been a candidate for office within the first few years before the commission starts, you cannot be on this. And for a period of 10 years after, you cannot serve, you cannot be elected to state office. You cannot be appointed to something that requires the legislator's confirmation. So we really try to take partisanship out of this. We try to
stick it to everybody who's part of the process, or who will benefit from the process.
Exactly. So we can't. So someone on this commission is not going to be able to draw a map and then go and run for election in that district that they just drew.
Mm-hmm.
Period. We should be happy with the process. We should be open and transparent. And, we shouldn't be dividing up communities to pad someone else's district. And I say this as a partisan. This is just a bad way to.
Who's funding this?
Yeah. So like any campaign, I have to report all my contributions. We have Democrats and Republicans that are on board. We have just gotten Bill Daley on board, Obama's former chief of staff.
Former mayor of Chicago.
No, brother.
Oh, brother.
Brother, yeah. Former gubernatorial candidate. He was going to run for governor.
Okay.
So Bill Daley is on board. We have former Lieutenant Governor Corrine Wood on board. We have Republicans and Democrats across the state that are standing up, that are saying it's time to protect us from ourselves.
I was saying, Rahm Emanuel is for something like that.
He is very much. He has said a lot of public comments. He hasn't actually told me I am for your measure, but he said in a couple public forums very recently that, we need a system where the voters are picking their elected officials and not the other way around.
That's a great line that sort of gets buried. The voters pick their candidates. The candidates don't pick their voters.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how many signatures do you need?
We need 298,000 by May 4th.
And how many do you have now? 4?
I'm gonna try to think of a way to dodge your question without answering it.
Classic politician.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We have more than 4. I can tell you that.
All right. Good.
But we're spending every day, whether we're fundraising or trying to build a bipartisan political coalition or gathering signatures. It is a task.
Yeah.
Illinois is not like California, where California they legislate via ballot measures. So for example, we have the League of Women Voters and the Chamber of Commerce on board, and their capacity in California to gather signatures is great. But in Illinois, we're not used to doing that. Plus, I don't know if you know this, we have a winter.
Right.
It's pretty bad.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't want to be outside.
So over the next couple, when do you have to get all these signatures signed by?
I need to turn them into Springfield on May 4th.
May 4th. So between now and May 4th, you need 300,000 signatures?
Yeah, more or less.
And you have to be a registered voter.
Exactly. Registered Illinois voters
Right.
who I need signatures from. If people want to help us gather signatures, they can go to Independent Maps and sign up. We'll send them petitions within 24 hours, and they can go out and circulate.
So you can you do this online? Can you?
So Illinois doesn't allow you to sign petitions online, unfortunately. We have to actually send them a hard copy petition. But like I said, we have staff in the office 7 days a week that are mailing out petitions to all corners of the state.
Where's the office?
And we're in Chicago right
You're
now.
in Chicago. So you're making your downstate swing? Is that more or less?
I travel half the week, and I'm spending the entire week.
How did you get picked to do this? Was this your...
This is just much.
Were you hired, or was this your dream, or is this your...
I was hired. This is my career, much like a teacher or a doctor. Although
You're a ballot initiative guy, or you're an independent maps guy?
I'm a campaign guy and a ballot measure guy.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So who hired you?
A coalition called Change Illinois that was formed after I don't know if you heard about this, the Blagojevich scandal. It happened a few years.
What was that again?
Yeah, something about a governor in a Senate seat. I don't know. They were formed after that scandal, and they really worked to do some campaign finance reform in the state. And it was a coalition of probably about 50 organizations, all good government the organizations you would think and the organizations you wouldn't think of that really came together to try to fix Illinois. And campaign finance was their first task,
Right.
And this was their second goal, is to create an independent commission to really go to the stem of a lot of the problems.
So between now and May, somebody might put a ballot initiative in front of your face about independent maps or changing the way maps are drawn.
Yep.
And
they should sign.
Don't be afraid if you're a registered voter. Ask questions and then sign if you
absolutely.
feel you need. And it's just to get it on the ballot.
Yeah, absolutely. We're circulating petitions to get on the ballot. You'll probably hear from me again in 6 or 9 months.
And then I'm assuming the maps wouldn't be redrawn until 2020.
Exactly. We're not asking for a midterm redraw. We're trying to make this as non-personal to legislators in Springfield as possible.
Right.
This is simply about making a better Illinois.
Where can people find out more information?
Independentmaps.org.
Independentmaps.org. Michael Kolenc is the campaign manager. Michael, you're welcome here anytime.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, now that you know.
Now that I know where you are.
Now you
yeah,
know.
it's actually actually very easy to find now that I know where it is.
Now that you have a map of Westport, independentmaps.org. Michael, thanks.
Thank you.
Sadly,